I couldn't believe the calories in my healthy lunch. At our annual staff meeting this week, we went out for lunch and I continued in my efforts for consistent nutritional choices with one of the nutritious bowls from the menu. Sounds promising, right? Prawns with noodles, chilli and some greens. Absolute winner. When it comes to fat loss or weight maintenance nutrition, I like the concept of food that is suspiciously delicious. Based on the premise that if you think food is low calorie and it tastes amazing, it's probably not. It's probably high calorie. And these low calorie nutritious bowls noodles were, as you can guess, suspiciously delicious. My spidey senses were tingling as the message from my tongue, as it met the oil-drenched noodles, clashed with the message from my brain, which had low calorie in mind, and I knew it was higher calorie than I hoped. Truth be told, I've no idea on the calories in it, but I bet it was similar to James's Peri Burger and chips. And this is where my insights to typical fat loss behaviour began. As you can tell, I'm a real hoot at meals out. Often after having an instance like this, where they accidentally consume more calories, people will then be left frustrated that the world has conspired against their fat loss efforts and they feel frustrated. One thing for those people to consider, there are only so many controllables in life. It is then worth adding there are a whole lot more controllables than people think. Illness, thoughts of others, times, availability of food, dare I say it as a man, hormones. There are loads of things that don't impact fat loss as much as people think. These uncontrollables are just how life goes sometimes. In my instance, I did the best that I could with the knowledge that I had available at that time. The suspiciously delicious test is wisdom I have gained through experience, and many people don't have this yet. The alternative to being outraged after eating is to be really chuffed you've made a healthy choice, when you actually haven't. Many people won't have realised, and they've fallen foul of the suspiciously delicious delusion. They'll eat their noodles drowned in oil and believe without doubt they've been healthy and are powering towards a drop on the scales that week, only to be stopped in their tracks and horrified at either a small drop, a plateau or even a gain. This too ruins their mood and can often lead to people giving in or using food for comfort with thoughts of what's the point, I've tried so hard, this isn't fair. You might have noticed here, there is no good reaction to be had so far. Incidentally, these better choices leading to a gain is exactly what happened to me last week. I had 3 meals out, lucky me, with the rest of the week on plan, only to gain 2 pounds. It's probably the most positive reaction to a gain I have ever had. I saw the scales and I thought, well, I've only eaten off plan for meals out, so this doesn't really matter. I wasn't just happy with my choices, I was proud of them. I turned down a lot of food during the week. I worked through my cravings and difficult emotions. I had high calorie food as experiences with others. And for 2 out of the 3 meals I had, I made lower calorie choices. Many people are happy with their choices, but very few are proud of them. And this is the high bar that I look to set for people I work with, as it means regardless of the result on the scales, you are truly happy, which is what matters. And that's what comes from being more realistic when you take risks with meals out and prioritising memories and experiences. Had that gain come from chocolate I bought from Asda, I wouldn't have been proud of my efforts. And upon closer inspection, 2 turkey roast dinners are not the low-calorie dishes that I believed and hoped them to be. Just because they're lower calorie than the pork belly, the fish and chips, which I did also eat last week, or lasagna, does not mean that I am in a calorie deficit. Better does not mean results, and it's a trap people often fall into. Roast veggies cooked in oil, gravy masks it too. You bet stuffing isn't low calorie either. Suspiciously delicious strikes again. The issue here isn't the restaurant or even your choices, it's your expectations. If you go into this thinking that you can give control of your weight loss to a restaurant, whose primary concern is to give you a delicious meal, and adding calories in is the easiest, most effective way to do this, then quite frankly, you're optimistic at best and barking mad at worst. Often, we skate on thinner margins than we think. I had 28 meals last week, so 1 in 10 were high calorie, and I still went running 5 times and I gained weight. This is just life. If you want this to be sustainable, then you have to accept there are times you'll go out for more meals. Last week I had a meal with my partner, a meal with my dad, and a meal with my partner and another couple. I can reflect on all of that and know that I made choices I was happy with and proud of. The honest truth is much of my high-calorie eating historically over my life, I can't say the same for that. Just off the top of my head, I can think of times I've eaten brownies, cookies from the bakery, Kiev and cheesy mash just because we were tired, and this is just in the last month. Most people's lives are littered with suboptimal decisions made on a whim, and these are the areas to focus on. Everything is a balance, and you have to decide both in the moment and reflect afterwards. And this time, for me, maintaining over a 2-week period is good for me. If you found this useful, please give it a like and let me know in the comments how this relates specifically to you. I'd love to hear it. Please also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this and share it with anyone who you know might benefit.